Welcome to Heroes First Podcast, sponsored by Fund the First, the nation's leading verified crowdfunding platform for first responders, military, and medical professionals. And now, your host, broadcasting from Long Island, New York, Robert Garland.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining this episode of Heroes First Podcast. Each show, you will hear from a new guest that portrays excellence in the first responder, military, or medical professional field. If you are an active or retired member of the service, or even a family member or a friend, then this show is for you. Our podcast is also proud partners with the Everyday Heroes Podcast Network and the Law Enforcement Today Podcast Network. I would like to present to you our guest for episode 21 of this podcast series, Jason Palamara. Jason, how are you?
How are you, Rob? Good, thank you.
Pleasure to have you. I didn't butcher your last name, did I?
No, it's been a lot worse than that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, in New York, a lot of people were able to say it a little bit easier with the Italian last names. I mean, I've been on shows and people can't even pronounce my last name, and it's just Garland.
That's pretty simple.
So yeah, Jason, it's excited to have you on the show. You're part of Purge, which is an excellent organization, and I want to hear more about it. I want to hear more about your background and everything. But I kind of want to go into right away, how do we connect? I know we're partners. We're Forge and Fund the First. We're partners, but I think we connected through Kevin, right?
We did. We connected through Kevin, and once I found out what you guys were doing and the financial health aspect of it for not only the first responders, but the family members of the first responders, it just meshed so well with some of our mission.
No, it's great. And, seeing what you guys are doing.
Because financial health is such a big part of.
We paused for a second.
Yeah, I lost.
That's okay. Listen, on this show, I don't do any edits. You know why? A lot of people, they listen in and they say, why are we going to edit the show? Let's hear what happens. Let's hear those slip ups. So a lot of people like them because they're funny. It makes it more authentic. So,
but that's fine. I said something really profound when we froze and everybody missed it, but that's fine.
We'll say it again. It's okay.
Just what you guys are doing and how it meshes with what part of our message is and financial health is so important. So we met through Kevin and that brought us to where we are today.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring up the website that you have with Forge Health.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share it right now for any of our viewers. And this is going to be posted on YouTube. So a lot of people view it on YouTube. So let's share the screen and let's walk through your website really quick and everything that you guys are doing. So Forge Health right here. It takes real courage to ask for help. We know we've asked. And listen, we're both NYPD. We know it takes a lot of courage to ask for help.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you click the VFR section up there on the top left,
there we go.
It basically explains, a little bit about our military veteran focus and specifically our first responder focus. Trust being the backbone and the bedrock of everything that comes after that, right? We talked about, law enforcement. If you don't have that trust, not much else can be built on top of that. And, when I left, I just retired in September.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's still a process, still a journey. I better said, finding Forge has been a blessing because they get it. I wouldn't put my name behind an organization that didn't, especially when their care is they're in service for us, So it's actually a new website. I'm very proud of it. The guys that worked on it did a fantastic job.
No, it really is. It's gorgeous. It's nice and smooth. Oh, there you are. Jason Palamara, Navy veteran, NYPD cold case detective, retired. There we go.
Yeah, all right. I'm getting used to seeing the RET.
You bring up trust, and it's so true. And you have it right here. Trust is earned. It's not given. both of us have to work to do it. And
Mhm.
this is, I mean, from my personal experiences, if I don't have someone's trust or a business's trust or anybody's trust from the get-go, I'm not going to them. And no matter how trusted of an organization they may be or a person they may be to others, if that trust factor doesn't appeal to you or me or anyone off the bat, you lost them. You lost them.
Yeah, and it we hear it all the time. Ask for help. Ask for help. You know, it's tough for a first responder to get to the point where they believe they actually need to do that. And if they've gotten themselves there, and we're at that point, you don't want to lose it, because you have a small window, especially with our population. And my colleague Dalton, he uses a great analogy of a highway. There's all these exits, and there's so many opportunities to hop off that highway for help. So you don't want to provide more exits than you need to. So that trust is huge.
No, yeah. So what are some of the programs? I see you have a program section. What are some of the programs that Forge Health offers?
So we have digital health and in-person mental health integration, substance abuse treatment. We have 6 outpatient facilities across 5 states. 2 of them are in New York and Long Island, Syosset and Hauppauge. So, guys might feel weary about in person. Some guys might feel better, teletherapy, on the phone. Some might feel more comfortable on a video conference, video call like this. Giving guys and girls the option, reduces those barriers to care. We want to make sure that there's nothing standing in the way of you and somebody and them getting that help. So we have a lot of holistic approaches, yoga, everything you could think of. We want to create an environment that's comfortable. People in this space sometimes forget that cops spend a lot of time in hospitals, right? So we might be guarding a prisoner, we might be transporting a victim, we might be doing an interview in the ER. So cops don't feel comfortable, or I believe, cops don't feel comfortable in a hospital environment, in a hospital setting. We want to make it as comfortable and relaxed of an environment as possible. Forge is created and run by veterans and first responders, so culturally competent to deal with this with our specific community.
And that's important because, again, you bring the trust factor back into play with that. When you're on the same level, and I've spoken about this before on other episodes that I've had here on Heroes First podcast. When a first responder talks to another first responder, that trust level is there. It's there.
It's funny you say that. It's so true because I did a little bit of traveling, when I was in cold case, and you could go anywhere. You can attest to this. Likely, you can go anywhere, meet another cop, and it's an instant connection.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to build off the bat. It's already established. It's easily lost, but it's already there, and it's unique to our group.
No, and it's great. It's almost comical that the connection is so tight right away. Like Jason, you and I, you worked at NYPD and we're both on the job together. But even though you and I have never met in person, I feel like I know you right now. And it's like, just because of the easy conversation that we could have with one another because of our backgrounds.
And I think a big piece of it too, in that instant connection, is we know without saying what we both deal and have dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
We both have different experiences from being on the job, but the job creates the same type of stress for us both, whether it be, physical interactions with people, jobs responded to that might be similar, the same, dislike from the community at times. We're all dealing with the same stressors in different ways. So it's that understanding that I think creates that instantaneous trust between us, you know?
Yeah. We're all dealing with the same comedy as well.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, none of which we'll share on this podcast. Yours.
Live action comedy show. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
our humor is very special.
It's very, very special. That's for sure. So back to Forge for a second.
Yeah.
I see this first of its kind partnership with the VA. Why don't you talk about that, the
Yeah.
Veterans Affairs partnership?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So in 2018, we entered into a formal memorandum of agreement with the VA. We are currently in the process of completing a large outcome study as it pertains to suicide in the veteran community. We had a smaller outcome study with out in New Hampshire, but we work in conjunction with the VA to help get in front of suicide and do what we can collaboratively to stop it. There's we like to think of ourselves as a force multiplier for the VA as well. I'm embarrassed to say that I went most of my life not enrolled in the VA. My father, a Vietnam veteran, went most of his adult life after leaving the service not enrolled in the VA. And there's so many programs and things to take advantage of that the VA offers. So we might have a service member, veteran that comes into our care and is not enrolled in the VA, or is and needs to assistance in getting the referral or navigating the process. So we work together with the VA to make sure that that happens. So care starts immediately. We pride ourselves on a 24-hour model. So you call us, you reach out to us by any means, whether it be here on the website, a phone call, a personal email to us directly, to me directly. We're going to get you rocking and rolling within 24 hours. We'll figure out the rest later. We'll figure out getting that referral from the VA later. We'll figure out all the red tape and nonsense. But your care starts immediately, because we don't want you to say, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. I made the wrong choice. I'm going to go ahead and go back to doing what I was doing because that's easier. So we work together to make sure that that person that needs care gets the care they need.
Great. It's definitely a needed partnership. Definitely needed.
Yeah, very much so.
Definitely. So I also browsed through here. So you guys have a really powerful clinical and medical leadership team. I don't know if you want to talk about any of them really quick.
Yeah, absolutely. The two on my left, Robert Piles and John Rodolico combined have, I believe, 85 years of experience in this space. We're veterans and first responders, but we got really smart people to work behind the scenes to get the job done. Sheena Bice, she's our clinical operations VP. She's the brains behind everything. When I'm in a meeting and the clinical questions start rolling, that's when I tap Sheena. She's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, we're a team of, like I said, veterans and first responders who get it, who've done it. And you see it displayed right here.
Mm-hmm. No, it's great. It's so important to have a nice, diverse team with a lot of different backgrounds and everyone that has their certain specialties to really put something together that's strong and helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what you're doing here with Forge Health. I love it. Really, really love it. And I can't wait to further our partnership to see how we could collaborate in different ways. But I'm going to ask you one more thing about Forge.
Please.
What does Forge mean? Where'd the name come from?
So, Forge, as it sounds, to create, to shape, to make a new relationship, right? And to me, that's one of the most important things. Forge stands for fulfillment, optimism, reciprocity, gratitude, and evidence-based. But back to relationship for a minute, forging maybe a new relationship with yourself. And for me personally, I take it's very personal to me because I look at cops. I go to what I know, right? I look at cops and I see, a lot identify as I'm a cop. You're a human being who happens to be a cop. And I think that's the very fine line you ride between having a healthy career and one in which it might cause you some problems if you don't address it. So the voice we hear is the most important. I believe that the relationship we have with ourselves is just as important, if not more, than those you have with other people. Because at the end of the day, who we're left with is us. And if we don't like us, that's a problem. That's a recipe for problems. So, forging a new relationship with yourself. And what does that mean? Being intentional about getting better, maybe getting to a better place in your mind, in your life. So it's not an obstacle. I like to say that it should be, there should be a perspective shift into it. It's a journey, right? A journey is gonna have its bumps, gonna have its ups and downs. It's gonna have its setbacks. But forging a new path forward, it sounds, it's what it sounds. It's find your new path forward. You might not know what it is, but just the fact that you're willing to explore finding one is the most important thing. So Forge isn't just a name that looks good, that sounds good, that shows good on a website. There's a lot behind it, and that's what Forge is.
Now, self-awareness is very important, and a lot of people, especially on our job in all first responder, military, medical, professional fields, I mean, what happens? We lose touch with what's going on around us, and we get so tied into our job, and we think that the job is the only thing we have.
Yeah.
And we forget that, hey, there's other things we could be doing outside of this job. We could be starting businesses. We could be joining other businesses. We could be helping people. We could be drawing. We could be working out, whatever it may be. But there's too many people that just go to sleep and wake up just to live for that job.
I think we hit another glitch because I don't see you anymore.
Oh, that's okay. I got you. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got you. That's all that matters. I'm recording on this side.
Okay. Yeah, you completely disappeared.
That's okay. Don't worry. I'm sure I'll come back up with my ungelled hair. So, I love what you're doing with Forge. Again, thank you so much for that. But I want to hear about you. I want to hear about your background, everything that you've done. So let's start from the beginning. I know you said that your father was military, and I saw that you were in the Navy. So let's hear about your Navy career for a moment and why you joined the Navy.
So it's a funny story why I joined the Navy in particular. I was actually slated to join the Marines. I used to work out with them on Sunday mornings at Eisenhower Park, and had a bad experience with a recruiter that was less than you would, not as polite as you would expect to your parents when they needed their permission for you to join, because you were at the age where you still needed a signature.
Oh.
My friend said, "Hey, listen, I'm joining the Navy. Come with me to the recruiter." So I did, and the rest is history. My godfather was in the Navy, so I said, you know what? It was either Navy, or it wasn't Marines anymore. It was either Navy or Army left, and I had a draw to the water, and that was it. Joined the Navy.
That's great. So what were your specialties there? Did you go overseas at all?
I did. I was on the USS Theodore Roosevelt. I joined in 97 to 2000. I was in the fuels division. So I was a purple shirt, fueling jets and helos on the flight deck.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much for your service. Thank you. Thank you. So from the Navy, what made you join the NYPD? Did you go right into the NYPD right from the Navy? Or was there a break?
No. So I joined I took the test. if I remember correctly, I was on leave. I had taken the test. They called me when I was out to sea on deployment, and what wound up happening was they put me on military deferment. So I got out, and then I was in Virginia, and I decided to start processing. I wound up working for a industrial construction supply company to bite my time between exiting the military and starting the academy. So I did that for a short period of time. I want to say it was 6 months. And then that landed me in the 9/11 class.
Wow. Did you end up going down to the trade center when all that happened?
Yes. So that was actually my first job responded to. I was in law class, and we all first thought it was a joke. Well, because they said, women and children stay behind. We thought for sure that was a joke. And then they said everybody, and then that was it. It was every day down there.
Wow. Thank you for serving down there as well. And so you had a nice career with the NYPD. You did a lot of things. So what is the biggest highlight? Where's the place that you liked working the most in the NYPD?
Cold case.
Cold case?
Without a doubt. I did a little bit of everything. I did conditions for those that don't know. It's quality of life offenses, and then I don't know if they still do conditions of crime, but I did crime for a while, which are felonies, plain clothes, and then I had done patrol. To start, I had done some time on patrol, and I went up to the squad in 2006. I was in the 8-4 squad from 2006 until 2015. Did a little bit of everything while I was there. Then I went over to cold case in 2015, and I say it was my best time because the cases I worked on were like no other investigations. To be able to take a case, to work with guys and girls that were in cold case and take a case that was dead, cold, for lack of a better word, and give it life again, and actually get some of them to conclusion was great. Working with some of the families I still talk to today. It was
you
just
develop those relationships when you get in those things.
Great work.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So you don't get any of my cases. You never got them because I do missing persons out of the 13th squad now. So a little boring. I miss my narcotics days, but
Yeah, our narcotics never. I wanted nothing to do with narcotics. I just
there's a stigma that comes with narco guys. There's definitely a stigma. But listen, I mean, you got the tattoos already. I thought you would be, why not?
You can't see any. How do you know that?
I saw it in your sleeve. I saw it. I always know a guy with tattoos. Come on.
Yeah. It's actually half done. It's my police flag.
Oh, it is? Okay. All right. Where you go? You go out. Where you go to get it?
Actually, it's a new one for me out in Huntington.
Okay.
Yeah, connection through my little brother. It's hard to get, but I finally got him.
So many good artists out there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really unbelievable. The best one, actually, the best artist that I have is right here on my chest. My daughter's name, and she does this. She was there for a week at Da Vinci in Wantor.
Okay.
Was that? I think it's Da Vinci. Yeah. And then she moves out to California. I'm like, mother effer, gone. But then I got a really good guy that does a lot of my art here. I can't turn my arm because of my shoulder injury.
I can't see it because I'm still looking at the join the conversation Zoom screen. I wish I could see it.
I'll show you. We'll figure this out after the show. But Jason Barletta. Oh, you got it. You got me back. There you go.
There you go. We're making.
What's that? Jason Barletta. This guy.
Got you back.
He's awesome. He does incredible work. He's out in Queens, but really, really awesome work. Different styles. I like different, And there's another guy, Adam Purge. He's out all the way out east on the island, and he specializes in I'm big into like anime stuff like Dragon Ball Z, if you're ever familiar, and all that
Oh
kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, big into that kind of
Okay.
stuff. But he specializes in those types of tattoos. So I'm waiting to do something on my legs for that. But tattoos is a whole branch of things that I could talk about for hours.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah. This is
addicting.
my first time I'm getting color. Yeah. I have all black. This is the blue line is going to be the only color I have in my entire body. So that's going to be a step for me.
All right, no, that's good. Blue doesn't hurt. If you get red for some reason, I think the red they have to go a little bit deeper into your skin.
On the right
Uh,
spot, it all hurts.
yeah, oh, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. So NYPD, you were cold case, awesome stuff. And after cold case, where did you end your career?
No, I ended my career in cold case.
Oh, you did. But so
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So you were with the peer support after.
So I wasn't assigned to EAP, the employee assistance. I was assigned to cold case, but every command has a peer support
Oh, you
member.
do. Okay, great.
So I was in the peer support program under Jeff Thompson, working with Jeff. So I was a peer support member for my unit, cold case.
No, it's really important for the job to have stuff like that. You know, everyone's going to go through something at some point in their career, and they need someone to talk to.
It
You know,
is so important. Uh, you come on the job, and for the most part, you could deal with it. You got it. I don't worry about it, right? But if we have conversations around mental health, we have conversations around, hey, I know you had this job today, and I know you had this experience, whatever it might be, and you just normalize the conversation. It's okay to talk about. It won't be so taboo, you know. Um, having resources is one thing, but having them, you can go on the internet, right? You can go on the internet and find a billion numbers, a billion different resources, right? But it's there, but you really don't know like what's there. But if you got guys talking about it, if you have peer support members in the commands, you know who they are. You're looking at the stuff they put out, because these guys are great. Guys and girls are great. They're putting stuff out. They're hanging stuff up. They're having talks, whatever, luncheons. They're going to trainings. Making the conversation normal is so important.
no, it really is, and breaking through the stigma, because everyone's afraid to ask for that help. They're afraid they're going to get in trouble.
I said it before, and I think it's important to say now. Every single cop would stop what they're doing for a 1013 party, right? For those that don't know, 1013 we have a 1013 party, a fundraiser for, maybe a guy got hurt, or a family member of a guy, or girl is in a bad spot. So we hold this to raise money and funds. Everybody would stop what they're doing to do that. Why not have that same mentality before something happens,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you would do everything you possibly could after the fact, well, why not do everything you possibly could do before it happens, right? We all stand in dress uniform at a funeral. We all salute as that coffin goes by. Let's get in front of that. Let's do everything we can. And that starts with simply talking about it.
That's powerful. I like that. That's really, really, really powerful. And a lot of guys, I'm sure listeners are going to take something away from that, because
Wow.
it's like you said, it's important. And it's not always about the stuff that we see on the streets, because in cold case you saw some horrible things. In narcotics I saw some horrible things. We see some bad stuff out there. We're under a lot of stresses. I mean, think about it. A search warrant situation, arrest situation. Sometimes your adrenaline is pumping, but it's not always about that. Sometimes it's about the internal things that are going on in the office. The internal things that are going on in your squad that you bottle up, you take inside because you don't want to talk about those things.
And then you go home and you further don't want to talk about those things, because maybe you don't want to burden your wife with it or your husband with it. Maybe you don't want to expose your children to it, right? So you hold it in even more, and you're not processing it. You're not letting it out, right? So I like to compare it to an ATM machine, right? You could only make so many withdrawals before you overdraft.
Mhm.
And unless you're making deposits, maybe for the short term, you can sustain yourself. But in the long term, it's going to catch up to you, right? So, another barrier I know as a cop is, finances, right? Cops don't just work as a cop, right? Part of being a cop is working 2, 3, 4, 50 other off-duty jobs, right?
Mhm.
So if that's taken away from you, or if your overtime's taken away from you, you now have a financial hardship. So what's the alternative? You know what? Let me not say anything. Let me keep it to myself, because I'm not going to be able to pay my bills if I say something, right? And then you tack on all those other things you just mentioned, internal politics in the office, or name a million different things. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what, the outside everyday civilian that's not a police officer or any first responder position, sometimes they forget that we're human, and they look at us as robots, and we're going through the same exact thing that everybody else is going through, and it's important to have outlets to speak with.
Sometimes they forget we're human, but we forget we're human.
That too. That
Yeah.
too. And it goes back to what you were saying earlier with really self-awareness and identifying yourself and, you know, really, digging deep down and making yourself healthy.
Yeah. I don't want anyone listening to think, oh man, you know what? That's really, really good stuff. And I didn't go through the bad times.
Mhm.
I'm where I am because of them. So anybody listening, any cop listening that might be going through a bad time, that pain, it's been said before, and I love to repeat it. That pain's an indication you still haven't learned the lesson, and it's going to keep happening until you learn it. And when you perspective shift and you're in that bad spot, and you start to realize, okay, you know what? I know what this is. I know what time it is. I know what this is. I've gone through this before, and you start to learn from it. Now the post traumatic growth starts, and then it builds and builds and builds, and you can get to a better place. You might think in the situation you're in that it's everything. Nobody else has gone through it, right? Maybe specifically what you're going through is unique to you, but other people have gone through same or worse situations and have come out of it. You are not your situation. It's only what you're going through. Um, so
You've got some really powerful words. I love it. And it speaks volumes about the type of person you are and why you are in the position that you are in today. Thank you. No, Jason, seriously, thank you. Thank you. This has been great. And I think a lot of people are going to take a lot of advice from the things you're saying. It's really great. So with the Heroes First podcast, I do ask a couple of questions. And listen, your career has been incredible. From the Navy to the NYPD, everything that you've done throughout your career in both places, and now with Forge Health. I gotta ask, would you do it all again?
the police department,
Everything. If you were to do everything all again.
I would not want to repeat the some of the things that came with 20 years, but I am so thankful for them, uh, because without them I wouldn't be here, right? What fun is life if it's just all sunshine and flowers, right? We're supposed to get stretched, you know we're supposed to be uncomfortable. That's when the good stuff happens. So yeah, I would do it all over again.
Awesome. Awesome. So with that, and I think you're going to have a pretty cool answer for this. Hopefully, I think you will. Um, what does a hero mean to you?
To me, a hero is somebody who puts themselves behind the preservation of somebody else's life. That decides that they are they're in service of somebody else. That they're willing to sacrifice their well-being for others, and that's every single cop that puts on that uniform.
Oh, thank you. It's very, very true. And before I ask the last question, I just want to go back for a second with Forge Health and everything with you. How can people contact you, visit the website, give everything you can?
Yeah, thank you for that. For one, you can go on the website forgehealth.com, right? Whether you're looking for care for yourself, for a loved one, or you're a clinician, there's different spots that you could request assistance. You can call us 888-224-7312. You could follow us on LinkedIn. We have a Facebook page, Instagram. You can contact me directly, J Palamara at forgehealth.com. So there's plenty of ways to find us. You
Good.
could hop on to the Heroes First podcast and
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Go right to Fund the First, our partners page. You guys are on there as well. You click right on them.
Yes.
So there's always an available way to get in touch with Forge Health and Jason over there as well. So the last question I'm going to ask, and I want you to answer the first thing that pops into your head. You're going to think about it after I ask it, but I want to know the first thing that pops into your head. So if you were to have one superpower, what would it be?
You've asked me this question and you said the first thing that pops into my head, but I've thought about it before, from time to time. And, in keeping in what we're talking about, if I had one superpower, it would be when I speak to somebody who thinks that they don't want to see what tomorrow looks like, that they're done, to be able to snap my finger and get them to see a little bit higher up that mountain. And to just magically save a life, that would be a superpower.
Perfect superpower.
It would be that one.
Perfect superpower. It's a lot of lives saved right there. A lot of lives. So, Jason, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. And for everyone listening, thank you again for joining this episode of Heroes First podcast. And we'll see you all next time. Jason, again, thank you so much for everything you do and for coming on the show.
Appreciate it.
You've been listening to the Heroes First podcast with Robert Garland. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from the show. Make sure to like, rate, share, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to visit fundthefirst.com and follow us on social media at fundthefirst. See you next time.